Woo! Looking like a lumberjack. Jackety jack. Got my pink. All right. Oh, let me send the invites out for all you bums not paying attention. All right. Watch. Do I know this? Joey who?
Had a .9, and he got hurt. And he had a 3.8, and that's a little better. But he fumbled. Yeah, Coleman, he had a big day. Both I had a big day, and then he got hurt. So I might have some really bad injuries here on offense.
Oh, what's up, y'all? I just looked on YouTube, and there's a person stealing my shtick. Oh, okay. Too much sauce, too much sauce. Okay. Alright, so let's jump into this. Oh, tree mom. What up? Happy holidays. Happy holidays. My face is all blown out from the I think I turned the contrast down a little bit. And now I'm gonna change this light bulb that's above my head. I don't like the color. Got a table behind me. The mighty. What's going on, fellas? And if there's a lady watching, hey. What it do, what it do. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I'm gonna make it neat, like some whiskey. But what's going on, y'all? The stash is still, you know, so entertaining. Yo, Seth, what up, Giant Killer? Wow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm telling you, man, it's getting harder and harder to make the playoffs. Look at this: Saints 9-1, Panthers 8-2, Rams 7-3, Vikings 6-4. I mean, you've got to have like a couple of games over. Look at this guy, points for 355. Jesus Christ. You guys are scoring machines. Anyway, let's jump right into the standings. AFC North, Bengals and Steelers. I know Mick hasn't been around. I think his game's going to be a sim loss tonight too. So that's going to be interesting just because I think Mickey's not a wild card team. He's definitely a first round bye kind of guy. So everybody's trying to get out, trying to not to play these heavy hitters, which is crazy, right? So like this bye week is going to be so important, I believe, on both sides. I think the AFC more than the NFC because I feel like the NFC is a little top heavy. I feel like some of the guys in the NFC, they're good, but I don't think, not that I say they're not as good, but I think it's a stiffer competition in that AFC just in terms of even like the top guys. Like I think 1 through 6 aren't going to be easy outs. I feel like personally the champ is coming out the AFC. That's just me and my AFC bias. Ravens definitely not. Nah, they're out. I think if you got more than 3 or 4 losses at this point, I think you're pretty much out. I mean, teams will have to slide so far down in order for to get caught. I don't see it happen. AFC South may be the only division where somebody under 500 is going to get into the playoffs. A week ago, I think that last week the Titans and the Jags weren't really out of it. I think now they're kind of out of it. But to be honest with you, I mean, if Jags, obviously, if Jags and Titans win 2 straight, and the Colts or Texans find a way to drop 2 straight, things can get really interesting. This is unfortunately like this division. They play heavy hitters in the AFC, but I think amongst themselves it might be, I don't know what it is. I can easily see either one of these teams going 5-1 or 4-2 in this division amongst themselves, but it's like outside the division is where they really have some issues. I mean, cause look, I mean, I guess maybe not. I mean, he's got 3 division wins. He's got 2 division losses. Look at this. He has 4 AFC wins, 6 AFC losses. Yeah, so I don't know. What up? What up, Spider? What's good with you? I see you over there coaching your boy. Hey, but Spider, you gotta tell whatchamacallit, Hardhead, he can't gun run so much. Obviously he's a bit OP. I don't want to curtail everybody's play calling. I think because the season, we're in mid-season. The mods were talking about like a State of the Union address, State of PSL address or whatever. I think it's gonna come up. We're gonna try to tighten it up a little bit. I know we've been I guess letting things just go, kind of, sort of. I think a lot of guys who are in the league are kind of guys who are sim vets, but we got some new blood, some new young talent, and you can still see that they're kind of still trying to win by any means necessary, which isn't the bad thing to do in the game. You really want to win these games, but like I said, everybody, it's an hour, it's your hour. The last thing you want to do is kind of just play somebody who's just like cheesing it all up. And I'm not saying the gun run is cheese, is that it's very, very OP. You'll call gun run, I'll come out on 3 wide, and you'll bust it between the tackle and the guard for like 6-7 yards each time. I saw it today versus Patriots versus Redskins. He used it on his drive about 4 times to score. It's just a really unstoppable kind of run. And not to mention that Patriots line is really, really good too, so that doesn't help either. So the combination of the two. But other than that, not bad. We'll get back to that game too in a second. Here's everyone's favorite division, the AFC East. 8-1 for myself. 8-1 for the Bills. 8-2 for the Jets. 5-5 for the Dolphins, who have a very, very small shot of making it. The Patriots an even smaller shot of making it. But like I said, I feel like 3 or 4 losses at this point kind of takes you out of the playoffs. Unless teams just start backsliding or whatever. If you look at the Bills. Look at me and the Bills. Points for, almost identical, and then points against, almost identical, and then I guess giving up points, you're gonna lose games. But and shout out to the Dolphins, who played me really tough. Like you go into a game thinking that the opponent is not that good, but he gave me a really good scare. I was able to dig a little deep into my bag of tricks and pull out the win 17-10, but that was definitely a good game. A lot closer than I wanted to. Here's another tough one. I mean, the Raiders are just not the Raiders this year. Chargers 7-2, Broncos 8-2. I know the Chiefs just beat the Broncos, I think either today or yesterday or whatever, but I don't know if it's a good win or not. I think all wins are good, but I guess in the back of your mind, you say to yourself, if you beat the Broncos or the Chargers, going forward, that if you start off with a better start, you'd be in this conversation. So that's that. As of now, obviously nobody's locked up anything. You've got 4 teams with 2 losses, 1 with 1 loss, and 1 with 3 losses, and we're in week 11 or week 10, something like that. So, like I said, man, the AFC, I believe, is a little tougher than the NFC. I just feel like, as you can see, we're top heavy. I feel like the top 6 guys at the moment are it's just tougher. Like I said, it's tough if you don't want to play a guy who has 2 losses in a wild card round. It doesn't make any kind of sense, but that's the way it is. Guys are good, and winless Raiders. Technically winless Raiders. But so like right here, you've got, the Vikings will probably make it. He's got 4 losses. I mean, the Buccaneers are in the conversation with 4 losses. Giants can win the division with his 4 losses. Bears are in the conversation. Seahawks in the conversation. Packers in the conversation. Redskins are a long shot, but still in the conversation. So, like I said, I feel like the AFC is a little bit tighter up top. And, yeah, the gun runs, yeah. You know what, like Spider, the issue is, I try not, what up, Will, T-Dubs? Like, I don't really like to blame the guys who play the game. Obviously, Madden makes the game. And so I feel just like it's unfortunate that a lot of good plays can't be used all the time because they're just so OP, I mean, God forbid we call cheese on out routes, because that's close too. That out route is really, it's almost a money play every time you throw it. And this is probably why the computer just lets you just do dumb shit sometimes. The drag route is as well. I mean, I've thrown a few drag routes where the guy was wide open and Madden decides that 10 yards down the field is way better than in my receiver's hand. I say almost because I've had out routes picked off, so it's possible. I don't know what defense can shut down the out route consistently. And the issue is that an out route in real life is a man beater. So unless you're calling man, and calling the coverage and calling the receiver and where he's going, you almost got no shot of picking that ball off unless it's an underneath guy. Like the guy on top of him will rarely ever pick it off. Rarely. I've seen it done, but it doesn't happen all the time. And then, I've looked online to see, on YouTube to see how to stop the out route. It's a weird combination. In my opinion, I feel like you shouldn't have to go through those kind of lengths to shut down one passing play, because you do that, you leave everything else wide open, and that's the last thing you want to do is kind of focus on one route and leave, the other 2/3 of the field wide open because you're trying to shut down one route. But just keep in mind, out routes are a man beater. So if you're in man and a guy calls an out route, expect to get thrown on. So anyway, I digress. So the NFC North, very, very tight. Packers, Bears, Vikings. G-World is back from the dead. What up, G-World? I haven't seen any of his games. And I don't care if there's sim wins or whatever, but he's got 5 wins. Much, much better from last year. I mean, if you can give out Coach of the Year award, just say he goes and wins 8 games, I definitely give him. I'd make him as Coach of the Year from 1 win to 8 wins, and with the possibility of getting to the playoffs in his division. Right now, the Vikings are on top. Bears are in the race. Ford, you do not pick off any out routes for breakfast. I doubt it. You probably pick your teeth for breakfast, but not out routes. So Packers, Bears, Vikings in a tight race. I mean, all these games are important for all these guys coming down the stretch. The Lions are out of this, I think. I mean, 7 losses is tough. 7 losses, and and these 2 guys have what they call in soccer a game in hand, right? So these guys haven't played their 10th game yet, and this guy's at 3-7. So a little soccer knowledge for you, soccer guys. So the NFC South, we've got the resurgence of Mike, who Mike admittedly says he's playing less Madden than he did last year. So I don't know what to say about the guy that he's playing against. But Mike is 8-2. 8-2. The Saints are 9-1. Just took his first loss today versus the Giants. I didn't get to see the game. I wish I could have watched it, but I was out Christmas shopping with the wife. So much fun. She's over there grinning. She's blowing kisses. Yeah, it's a smack in the face. That's what it is. Those kisses are smacks. My man Tim is still in it. I mean, if he can steal a, I don't know. One of these wild cards are locked up by one of these teams. Let's take a quick look. Tim is in it. The Buccaneers are still in this. He needs some favorable losses to. Looks like the Seahawks. I believe the Seahawks beat the Niners the other day. So I mean that's in my. I just flashed in my brain. So we're gonna talk about this Redskins game that I saw earlier with the Patriots, and what I saw was a guy, Hardhead. He called, and this is not a bad thing for Hardhead. It's just a bad thing for Madden. Redskins is in excuse me. Redskins are in a 3 wide receiver set. He calls a 4-3, cover 4, and everything is locked up. Everything is locked up. There isn't a single seam to be seen when he makes the read. I'm watching the screen and I don't see anything open. And it's crazy because you have a mismatch in terms of just route running skill and speed and all that, and it doesn't show itself in the game sometimes, which is very, very unfortunate. The only suggestion I can say to EA, if they ever listen, ever watch, is that you have to probably turn down the agility for defensive players. I mean, unless they're like off the hook. The problem is, here's the problem in the game. I'll tell you right now, off top. The issue is that you've got one characteristic for all the players. So agility is agility for everyone. So if you've got a linebacker, yes, player scales, right. So if you got a linebacker with 90 agility, he has the same agility as a wide receiver with 90 agility. We both know that if a receiver and a linebacker run the same thing, I guess what is it, the shuttle or the cone, whatever, players too big? No, I don't think players are too big. Oh, you mean in scale to the field? That's possible. I think the field is too small as well. But I'm saying that we both know if the receiver and the linebacker run the same thing at a combine, it does not translate to the same kind of movement on the field. And I don't know how a programmer replicates that. The only thing I can say is that, say if this guy's agility is really high, you kind of have to notch him down just because it's not realistic. It doesn't transfer well into the game because of what it does. And you can see it. And I used to do it myself. And I watch guys online do it too. Linebackers covering multiple routes on multiple levels. Impossible in life. Impossible. You can take away the first one. You can take away the second one. But you're not taking away 3 reads. You're not taking away 3 reads. You're not going to have a linebacker cover the drag, jump to the end, and then somehow find himself between 2 safeties between the hash, defending whatever deep throw may occur. Not in one play, not in life, not ever. It's just not happening. And then until Madden fixes that, we're probably gonna always have this issue where linebackers just really, really OP. So anyway, that's my rant. So we have the Seahawks and the Rams, both at top of the division. Like I said, I think the Bucks have the biggest shot, or the next shot to get in. If he needs, he needs some help from the Seahawks and the Rams. But being the Seahawks just beat the Rams, I believe, so that kind of not locks stuff up. It muddies it for the Buccaneers. So in terms of playoff picture for the NFC. All right, so what it looks like right now, Rams, Vikings, Bucks, and Giants. No, I think the Seahawks should be above somebody. Is it by win percentage we do this? Okay, yeah, win percentage. Okay, so that's what it could probably look like, right? So this is 1, this is 5, this is 2, this is 3. This is 4, maybe it's 4, and this is 6. That sounds right? Alright. So moving on, what's going on with you guys? How y'all feeling, man? I just bought some boots from the mall. I'm from New York, so you guys are like, boots? Nah, man, bought me so what they call Jodhpur boots. You can look it up, Jodphur. Sexy as fuck. Anyway, look, I lost three watches by talking about Joffrey boots. Let's jump into the stats. We'll do stats. Passing yards. I have been flinging a rock. For whatever reason, I don't like running with Shady. Something about Shady, small ass calves. You stupid. My calves are not small, motherfucker. Anyway, I don't like running with Shady. I find him too loosey-goosey for me. I feel like he's all over the place. Like, I don't have a nice, firm control over Shady and making moves. I like Maguire a lot more. He's hurt. I would like to think. I think the Bills hurt him. I think he got hurt versus the Bills. So thank you, TW. No, we're not sending you any more players, Ford. All right, you've got a mutt squad down there, and we don't appreciate it. So we got Stafford, and so what I will say that the picks are okay this season. I mean, there's some guys still throwing a lot of picks, but I feel like I don't see really, really bad numbers, you know. I'll just take a look at the picks. I don't see really bad numbers. I mean, these are all high. I mean 16 or whatever. Like I said, my rule is 2 per game. That's kind of where I want to keep my picks at, 2 per game. And so I guess I'm kind of there. And being in week 11 or 10, this is fine. Unfortunately, I'd be fine with 22 picks. Probably not the 13 TDs, but if they were 22 and 22, I'd be okay with it. Anyway, so we've got my man D Muse and Stafford just flinging a rock. Yeah, I'm sure it kills your PSL squad, but you also don't have to agree with anybody to acquire those players. So Deshaun Watson, even though the Texans are 4-6, is having a pretty good year. I mean, it's not the greatest. That touchdown interception ratio isn't the greatest, but the yards look good. Who did I play that complained about me throwing the ball all over the place? The Browns. Where you at, my man? Come back. Come look at this. Look at my attempts, my man. Look at my attempts. Just so you know, I know I'm throwing the ball a lot, but I'm not really throwing the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe I am. I'm 4th. But I don't even have 300 yet. I'll get to 300 tonight. You know? Anyway. So, I mean, it's not bad. I think the only guy over 1,000 yards rushing is Nixon, right? TW? I mean, if you're still watching, I think it's just TW. 22 touchdowns for my man Sloan. Newton with 22. I know. Ford, you're not throwing in as much, for real. You're not. But what you're doing on offense with this guy is unreal. These are like real NFL numbers, by the way. Like 22 touchdowns, 7 picks through 11 games. Like, if you can finish with like this, you wouldn't want to double this, but if you can finish less than 10 picks, or maybe less than like 13 picks, I'd be impressed. I'd be really impressed to find anybody to play 16 games and throw less than 10 picks, less than double-digit picks. Excuse me. The thought of throwing less than 16 picks seems impossible to me. Like, Nash has 9, Meredith has 9. I expect these guys to throw their 10th pick somewhere down the line. Peterman. But, look, he's got 205. Like, he's not really throwing the ball that much. You see what I'm saying? 1,900 yards. Tower is there. Just 2,000. Barely over 2,000. But look at this passer rating, man. No, you don't count. Tyrod, 125, man. Like, I'm just so impressed. Like, I go ahead and watch these numbers. Garoppolo's having a good year, too. But TW's not leaning on Garoppolo as much. It's that Mixon character I got to watch out for. The Vikings having a decent season too, throwing the ball. So I'm really surprised with a lot of guys this season. It's like some of the guys have gotten used to the passing mechanics, getting comfortable with what they're doing on offense. So you're seeing a lot less picks from the guys who are obviously playing pretty well. You know, you're playing pretty well when you're not throwing a lot of picks. So rushing, I know we got Mixon. Yeah, I tell you, Mixon's only 1,000. Huns, right? It's Huns. Continues to make magic with my man CJ, who's not that good. I mean, in my opinion, CJ would be my perfect back. I like this kind of speed. I like this kind of acceleration. I like the agility. That's where I kind of want to be. I don't know if M19 gonna be different. I think they're gonna just build on top of it. I haven't touched FIFA 19, and FIFA 19 will give me a pretty good indication where Madden would be in terms of physics and stuff like that. Speed is definitely overrated at the back. See, the problem with running backs is, in my opinion, is that when they're too fast, you can't get them. Yeah, you can't get them like on track. You know, you can't get to the right tackle. I'm right between the tackles. I feel like guys with speedy backs want to get outside and kind of beat all the coverage. It's tough. It's so hard. So I kind of like a little slower back. Somebody that's like 89, 90, 88, 89, 90. 91 is pushing it. And then, yes, too early, right, too early. So then you know what, the acceleration, like low 90s, like when I say low 90, I mean like 91 is like the thresh, 92, that's it. And then the agility, I like to be like 99, 89, 88. I feel like that's like a back where when I'm hitting the sticks, he's not like all over the place, kind of like he's like this instead of like this, you know? So anyway, that's just me personally. So David Johnson having a pretty decent year. I know the Cards are struggling, but he's got the Raiders' first pick, which should be a very, very nice pick. I've looked at some of the combine, and there's some gems out there in that first round. It looks like it'll be a 1-1, if I'm not mistaken. And here's my man Le'Veon Bell. I mean, I fought this trade, and then I heard both parties. I mean, what are you gonna do, man? And obviously, the Saints have an embarrassment of riches, so to speak, and so I mean, the Saints team is dangerous right now, running, throwing, and all that good stuff. Melvin Gordon is my favorite running back. I have Melvin in GMFL, and I just love Melvin Gordon. Slight, like I said, see, 92, 92, 90, and then, see, those numbers just work for me right there. But for whatever reason, whatever Shady had just didn't work for me. Shady, I feel like, is just too all over the place. But Melvin Gordon, and I'm not even sure why he got traded 2 times in GMFL, but he did. I think the second time was to me. But I don't know what they were thinking. And I don't even know what I gave up for him. I have no clue. Maybe TW can throw it out there and let me know what I gave up for him. So Slaughter is a beast. And the game I played last week, and I don't know what happened. I thought Slaughter had like 97 speed, but he was just killing me. I could not stop him, and I don't know what stat it is that made it that way, but it was just unreal. I was just, yeah, I don't know why either, T-Dubs. But he's unreal too. Unreal too. I mean, Gurley's not going to get MVP this year. But the Rams, once again, with Gurley doing a great job, 12 touchdowns. It might be, nope, Nixon with 14. Nixon leading the way with them TDs, man. Gurley, Slaughter, Mitchell. I don't know Mitchell. I have not seen anything Mitchell. So this is Tim's guy. Quick Dev. So this is... I'm sorry. Some of these guys I don't even recognize. I feel like, I mean, here's Fournette. Fournette with a down year. And when I say a down year, Fournette was beasting last year. I think last year at this point, Fournette was like the clear leader. I think he had double-digit touchdowns. I think Fournette's struggles come with the Jags' struggles at QB. I spoke to the Jags. That's my guy. I work with him. And I said, man, listen, if I'm you, I make a trade for a QB, a decent QB, and then you'll see your game open up. And I hate to say it, when you're playing with there's only a handful of us that can play with bad players. I think I'm one of those guys. I think I can play with bad players. Guys rated with 66, 70, 75. Guys that just kind of like not really, worth starting on most teams. But I've done it for a really long time. I can say that I've done it for a long time without question. It's something I just enjoy doing, playing with bad players. So much that when I have good players, I know what to do with myself. But the QB position is so important in this game that I think it might be the most realistic thing that Madden has done. And I don't know if it's Madden or EA or the sliders, but the QB position is so important in this game that without a good QB, you're toast. You're done. You can't move the ball downfield. You can't get no consistency. And it just makes the game overall just a frustrating game to play on offense because you can't execute the things you would like to. So anyway, Raquel Green. This guy's a fast guy, right? This is 97. I've got to ask Lee how he feels with this guy. I'd be interested to see if he's like, feels like how we feel about it. But this is not bad though because his agility is not too high, so he's not probably all over the place. But still, I find like guys this fast, blocks don't develop, the fullback can't protect you. It's just a nightmare. So let's head to receivers. Here's my man CJ Nelson, and like I said to you, I like playing with bad players. This guy is 67 overall, fellas. It's just what I do, man. It's what I do. It's what I do. My man Golden Tate, this receptions. We'll go to yards because we don't care about receptions too much. Heston Cook. Oh my gosh, this guy's a fucking nightmare. This guy's a nightmare. I'm glad that I played TW already. I know this guy is only getting better. Look at this guy. 91 route, 89 catch, spec catch 87. Releases at 90. He's got all the traits. Oh my gosh. I see you, TW. Look at the progressions. Look at this. 3K a week in progression. How do you contest with that? And this is why this is why I know guys like when they get superstar. Quick dev guys are great. Don't get me wrong. Quick dev is nice. But when you get a superstar dev guy, it is night and day from like week to week how good these guys get. Obviously, they're superstars. But it's unbelievable. Well, here's Demaryius Thomas. Still doing work. Something to be said with, these guys are still decent. Who is that was complaining? We're going to look at Julio Jones in a second. Look at Julio Jones in a second. Because I know Poop was like, he's no good anymore because he's slow. But look at this guy. 90 speed, 89 release, acceleration 88. So his number is not bad. Let's look at another guy. Kelvin Benjamin is not that fast. 86 speed, but he's got tremendous catch numbers. Acceleration not that great. It's good. 88 is fine. Don't get me wrong. 88 is fine. 93 release. So Benjamin is like a fast tight end at this point that you can play out in space. But the catching numbers matter a lot more than the speed. If you can get a guy open, or if a guy gets open, if you can hold on to the ball, you've got a chance to get some rack yards. I think a lot of us are caught up in how fast a guy gets to a spot, and rather than just a guy just getting to a spot and holding on to the ball and making a good play for us. So Ebron is definitely Pro Bowl bound. The only tight end up here with yardage. Ty for the Colts, Martavius for the Steelers. And it looks like the AFC is really, really pass happy. The first three guys. And then AFC the AFC is like throwing that rock. The AFC. So I'm gonna say I cycled through 15 guys. I'm gonna say maybe 10 of them were AFC guys. So the AFC is throwing, the NFC is running, but the AFC's got those wins. 6 teams with 2 losses or less. So That being said, and no, look, nobody's here with over 100 yards a game too, so it's balanced. So I mean, this is probably as accurate or as close to to real life numbers as is. I mean, but and look, Cook has less downs played than my guy, and he hasn't played that many downs at all. Did Cook get hurt or something? T Dubs. He's got like a lot less downs played. Ebron 690. I guess Ebron must be like on special teams too. All right, so let's go to defense. You know how we do on defense. We like to break it up. AFC. Oh, that's blocking. Excuse me. Defense. We'll go straight to sacks. Sacks. Oh, we'll go tackle for loss because Ford mentioned the other day to me. John Simon. I feel like the Colts play with the ends a lot. You know, one thing I want them to get rid of next year, when the tackle dives and like he goes and the QB gets sacked. It's gonna be like the most annoying thing in the world for me to watch a guy dive 5 yards from the QB and like tap his ankle and he goes down. It is so annoying. I think I watched it today with the Redskins and Redskins-Patriots game. So Marshall 16, Edwards with 13, Khalil Mack with 12, Atkins with 12. This is a good pickup. I mean, it's a really good pickup. Leonard Williams with 12. Hopefully he makes the Pro Bowl this year. Jordan with 11. Lane with 10. That's his rookie linebacker. Marcellus with 10. Jones and Reed. I will say one thing, that the Chiefs do a good job of building this defense. I do remember him. This feels like a 4-3 guy. It is a 4-3 guy. But does a good job building his defense. He has a really good defense. So we'll check out the sacks. 16 for Melvin Ingram. Like he's got so many sacks. It makes me want to just make my man Williams a DT. Because I can't compete with these guys. I just can't. I mean, 16 here, 13 and a half here, 13 here, 12 and a half. Garrett with 11 and a half. Bosa with 10 and a half. Marcellus with 10. Church with 10. Williams with 8 and a half. I don't know. And I feel like all these guys have to be 4-3 guys. It's the only explanation. Because in my opinion, I feel like I want to get sacks on my ends, but I'm probably thinking about this all wrong. And if you're a 3-4 guy, you're probably getting it all wrong as well. I want to say all these guys are just space eaters in a 4-3. So you probably want to focus on getting like really good pass rushing linebackers in a 3-4. Excuse me. In a 3-4, they're space eaters, so you want to get really good pass rushing linebackers. That's what you want to do, I believe, in a 3-4. So look for me this year to make some changes in my defense next season, and see if it reflects that. But these are, I believe, and not mistaken, these are all 4-3 guys. I see hardhead user, this guy Flowers, he's bananas. And his block shit is not that great. I mean, the power move at 91 is phenomenal. The acceleration is off the chain. I don't think so. We'll take a look at your numbers in a second for your sacks. So my man Francois and Seward, 6 picks. You know how I do with the middle linebacker. I know there's a build coming up somewhere. I think the guy Brown's at Presley Brown. Tankersley with 6, Simmons with 6, Marshall with 5, Preston Brown with 5, Shane Ray with 5. Eric Berry is disgusting in this game. He covers everyone. He covers wide receiver, he covers tight ends, he covers running back. It's unbelievable how good this guy is at safety. Obi with 5, he slowed down a bit. Durr with 4, Burfict with 4, McNary with 4, McCourty with 4. Let's see. Let's look at this. Let's see if we get any wood layers. Trey Boston 4. I mean, bro, this is 18. Is this 18? Yeah, Jaden is 18. Pay attention, my man. What are you doing? So forced fumbles, 4 for Trey Boston, and any block kicks, 2 for Cameron Sutton. And safety, I've got 1. I'm surprised the amount of safeties that guys have gotten. Go Browns. Defensive TD, Justin Simmons. My man Corey Jean-Francois. Still with 2. So let's check out the NFC. Let's look at these. Let's go tackle for losses. Fletcher Cox, Oliver Vernon, Mario Addison, Robinson, Kuechly, Pierre-Paul, Murdoch. Okay, I have not seen a single Saint up here yet. Don't have a single Saint in double-digit tackles for losses. Here's your first, Bud Dupree. In QB sacks, Bud Dupree with 8.5. So this is kind of like, so this is weird. So I don't know if you guys noticed. You see all of these ends here in the NFC, and I believe the AFC had more ends. Excuse me, as like almost no outs. Oh, Houston. Okay, Houston. So 3-4 guy. No, I like the Jets. So we'll go back here. So Griffin with 14.5, Donald with 13.5. What else is new? Send Donald. Send Donald. Whatever you want. Send Donald. Brandon Graham 9.5. Quinn 9. This is a rookie, first year guy, right? Or technically a second year guy, rookie than his second year. Tape 8.5. Daniels 8.5. You can send Daniels too. A little older, but you can send Daniels. His Bud Dupree, Montravius Adams, Barnett, Lawson, Bennett, McKinley, Allen, Vic Beasley. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry, guys. I've been up since like 8 o'clock. All right. So let's take out the picks, and then we'll go to awards, and then I'll be Eli Apple with 7 picks. Lord of mercy. Reddick with 6. Saints trying to be like me with the linebacker CB interception team. Oh my gosh, Evans. Oh god, first 3 guys. Latimer with 5. Anthony with 5. Knee with 4. Morrison, Hitchens, McDonald, and Avant with 4. Let's see what we got. You know what? Deflections. Jesus. Who had this problem last year? That was you, right, Nick? That had all these guys deflecting passes but nobody catching. 14 deflections and 2 picks. 16 deflections and 2 picks. Here we go. Here's my guy. 18 deflections and 2 picks. 14 and 2 picks. I mean, this is good. I mean, this is ridiculous though. Like 3 of these should be interceptions without question. So we'll look at some forced fumbles, and then we'll look at awards, and then all you kiddies can go home after this. Deron Lee with 5 forced fumbles. Wow, Jesus. I regret this trade, and I probably won't ever say this again in my life, but I definitely regret this trade. I miss this guy, man. I miss Deron Lee. What a guy. Tyrann Mathieu with 5. Maurice Alexander with 4. Von Bell with 4. So Ford is making guys lose the ball, or turnovers rather, by forcing fumbles, but doesn't have a lot of fumble recoveries. It's 2. That's weird. Less safeties and less less TDs here too. I could be just mistaken though. Anyway, let's hop into the awards, and that's it. I don't have much to say really. So yearly awards, we've got MVP Joe Mixon. I know he's got 14 touchdowns in 11 games, so that's that's worthy. Bell, Gurley, Taylor, Sloan, Newton, Nash, Anderson, Slaughter, and Cook. Coach of the year has to be Saints. There we go. Here's my guy here. Here's Thurman. I'm just gonna just let this go. LaDane, that's a good name. Willie Mays Hayes, another good name. Hoodie Mello, this guy's definitely from New York without question. We'll go to the AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Mixon, CJ, Sloan, Nash, Gordon, Davis, Brate, Fournette, Thomas, and Nelson. Defensive Player of the Year, Ingram, Simmons, Houston, Flowers, Tankersley, Marshall, Francois, Seward, Brown, and Walker. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Daniel Davis, Ray. Oh my gosh. This is the running back for the Patriots, I believe. Brate was ahead last time I checked. I believe this guy's a running back as well. Cook, fourth. Bruce, I don't know who brought Corshaw. No. Pelfrey's quarterback. Harline is a tight end. Combs, I don't know. And Atkins, I don't know either. Defensive rookie, my man, Francois. Lane for the Raiders. Nels for the Chiefs. Curry. Thorne, Stevens, Lindsey. Muldrow, middle linebacker. Faulkner, don't remember. And Wang is definitely outside linebacker. QB, my man, Sloan. There's Nash, Peterman, Brate, Watson, Roethlisberger, Mahomes, Sylvan, Luck, and Mariota. Running back is Nick Mixon without question. Broncos and Gordon. Anderson, Gordon, Davis, Fournette, Hart, Muhammad, Bruce, Ware, and Murray. Receivers, Demaryius Thomas, Nelson, Cook, Bryant, Ross, Fuller, Shaw, Cooks, Brown, and Hill. And like I always say, tight end should get a separate list. We don't know how this works, so we'll forget it. Best D lineman, Ingram, Flowers, Garrett, Watt, all 4-3 guys, by the way. Here's another 4-3 guy, another 4-3 guy, another 4-3 guy, 4-3, 3-4, and 4-3. I think in real life the Steelers are a 3-4 team, but I'm sure Carter has them running a 4-3. Best linebacker, Houston, Stewart, Burfict, Marshall, Brown, Walker, Ray, Mosley, Sutton, and Feeney. Best DB, Tankersley, Simmons, Francois, Berry, Mellon, Fonwu, Durr, McNary, McCourty, Roby, and Butler. Kickers, we don't care, but if you guys want to check it out, there we go. And we'll work our way backwards. All right. If that's too fast, just rewind the video. DB, Apple, Lattimore, Neal, McDonald, safety. Morrison, Bell. I think Bell is safety too. Thomas, safety. Wilson, Owuzie, and Elder. Corn Elder, wow. Reddick, Anthony, Hitchens, St. Pierre, Evans, Bernard, Dupree, Lee, Jones, and Kendricks. D-line, Griffin, Donald, Graham, Quinn, Tepe, or Tappy, or Tepe. Oh, how would y'all say that? Tepe? Probably Tepe. Or Tepe. Tepe, Tap, Tap, Maybe it's Tap, Tap, Anyway, Barnett, Daniels, Adams, Bennett, and Lawson. I'm going the other way. We don't know how that works. Receivers, Benjamin, Beckham, Samuel, Thomas, Gene Giles, Diggs, Brian, Doxson, Sorrell Pryor, Thielen. Running back, Bell, whatever. We know that. Gurley, Johnson, Slaughter, Cook, Elliott, P. Ryan, Mitchell, Williams, Howard. This is definitely going to be... What? I don't think so. Maybe the amount of touchdowns he has. Maybe that's why. Newton, Meredith, Goff, Stafford, Winston, Webb, Prescott, Cousins, Trubisky, and Rodgers. And nowhere is Taylor to be seen. But I put money that Taylor's probably in the MVP race or the offensive player race. Defensive rookie... Bernard, Avant, Winborn, Duckworth, Roby, Fluin, CB, Love, CB, Murdoch, I think corner, Hopkins, I don't know, and Wilbur. I feel like it was a CB as well. Maybe the safety. Offensive rookie, Slaughter, Mitchell, Green, Wycheck, Carter, McKinnon, Middleton, Lawton, Brown, and Fry. Defensive player of the year, Griffin Donald, wow, Lee. Anthony, Kuechly, Dupree, Bell, Kendricks, and Reddick. Bell, wow. But here's Tyrod Taylor, but he's not mentioned in terms of his QB, which is weird. Gurley, Johnson, Slaughter, Cook, Taylor, Elliott, Mitchell, P. Ryan, and Meredith. And that's it. I don't think y'all gonna talk about. It's only 5 of you guys in here. About to dip a little bit. About to go out later on tonight. If we advance right now, I think I can play my game and kind of get out the way. Depends. Oh no, Hardhead he's pretty hard to schedule with, so maybe I won't be able to play tonight. But that's all I have for tonight. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know what the Islam celebrate around this time of year, so whatever they celebrate that. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we're going to try to get back to scaling back the amount of cheese that's going on. I think what I would like to see from us as a league is kind of like a tweaking of the sliders each and every year. I think as guys get better and their players get better, I would like to see some of the scales kind of ebb and flow. I mean, I read of this on a post on OS where a guy, like at the end of each season, they kind of look at the numbers and kind of adjust the sliders accordingly. I don't have that kind of mathematical brain, or I don't crunch numbers that well, so I wouldn't know where to begin. But for me, it'd probably more like a feel thing. So like, we're doing good till that last patch. Okay. We were doing good until that last patch. Okay, this was probably good. So, you know what, Ford, I don't know. I didn't read the patch notes, but if we can look at the patch notes together, or, you know, as a group of mods, and then kind of see what they adjusted, and we can like kind of counter that, I think we'll be back to where we needed to be. I remember we addressed some of the pass coverage issues. What I'm seeing now is, in my opinion, pass rushers not getting the credit for being pass rushers. I'll tell you right now, I wish I could just show video here. I do it from my computer, but I am getting sacked a lot. But I believe, in my opinion, the numbers that so many defensive players have should articulate in the game and into sacks, you know, especially, you know, guys after like 3 to 4 seconds. And I mean, a lot of guys kind of get mad when there's not enough time to throw the ball. But I don't know if you guys realize, but if you have the ball for more than 4 seconds and you're an NFL quarterback or a collegiate quarterback, your back is in the dirt. 4 seconds is an eternity in the quarterback's world. Most of them, I believe, trying to get it out in less than 2 seconds or 3 seconds. And when you think about that, right, the ability to read an entire field in that amount of time is absurd. So we all know, and I don't know if you guys know, but I know that some plays you look to a guy until he gets open because of the pre-snap read followed by the post-snap read, and then plus the play that you called. So these are all things that kind of take into consideration when making a throw. But 4 seconds is a lot of time, right? And I've seen it. It happens for me too. I've seen it where I have tons of time in the pocket, and sometimes I have no time in the pocket. But more often, I'm getting a lot of time in the pocket, and I think that's inaccurate. I think that we need to adjust that so that the pass rushers have more value in this game. I think my offensive line isn't the greatest, and my sack numbers will show it, that I think I've gotten sacked like something like 22 times or 28 times, and deservingly so. You know, I'm throwing the ball a lot more, and I've been sacked at least 3 times a game leading into these games. So that being said, I would like to see the pass rush is given a little bit more of an uptick. And here's the thing about the sliders in this game, for you guys that are still hanging around, listen to me ramble. If we slide pass coverage a certain kind of way, it affects the pass rush. The term was used was they're not inverse relationships, right? But they're definitely related. You know, affecting the coverage affects the pass rush, affects some pass rush animations and stuff like that, which is kind of weird. But those are all in conjunction, pass rush and coverage. So we'll see what happens. I'm not a big fan of adjusting things mid-season, but Madden feels like it's okay to do so. But I think what we'll probably wind up doing is leaving these sliders as is, and then in the offseason kind of like tinker with it. But there's not much time to tinker with it. I think if the tinkering comes, it should come during that one preseason game that we play. It's really hard to test the sliders outside the game because you can't really export your roster with the attributes and kind of test those attributes to kind of give you an idea of how good or how bad or how far you should slide the sliders to get an accurate gameplay result when an interaction occurs. And so until that, I guess, is a little bit of a guessing game. You kind of like inch it. What I don't want to see is like drastic swings in animations. So say that I don't know what the numbers are right now, but say pass coverage is at 60. In my opinion, maybe you go to 65 and see what happens, and not 75 where it's either too tight or too loose. But they're subtle. They're very subtle, and they should be subtle. But anyway, I'm off this. I'm off that. Once again, guys, enjoy your holidays. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Do drink and play Madden. I've done it. That's safe. I mean, if you don't care about winning or losing. But that's pretty good. Yeah, that's all I have for tonight. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. Somehow, one day we'll get like 28 guys in here just talking shit, shooting this shit. When I get on, if you feel like you want to talk to me, just hit me up. Send a message to me, in our party chat, and we'll talk. We'll chop it up. We'll raise some concerns. Like I said, I think Ford did a good job this week by kind of like just seeing what people liked or didn't like about what's going on in the league, and those things will be addressed. I'm out of here before I start any more new conversations. Good night, y'all. Somebody, I want that 60 minutes exit. What is that? Good night, America, or good night something? I don't know. Peace out, Cub Scouts.